Welcome. Hi, Rotarian of the day, Kristen Villarreal. We'll give her a minute. Prayer, pledge, and four-way test.
If everybody could bow their heads for us, please. Thank you, God, for the food you provide for us and all those who have helped us to bring it to us. Bless the food before us and the people beside us. May the sharing of this meal strengthen the bonds of friendship, hope, and trust between us. We ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our four-way test. The first is history. Second
Is
is
it
fair and concern. Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships. And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned. And fifth,
Is it fun? Woohoo! All right. So, do we have any prayer requests? That's
Yes,
next.
also had hip replacement surgery today, and Jeff Gray was having back surgery. So
Yeah, he's in surgery now. So we'll keep you updated on how they progress. And there are some note cards on the table. If you want to write them a little message, we'll get those over to them. Just wishing them well. All right. Any other prayer requests, Kristen?
yes, we keep our graduates in your hearts and minds, please.
Keep graduates.
Graduates.
Yes.
Baccalaureate tonight and formal tomorrow.
And the moms of graduates. And maybe the dads of graduates. Because we got at least one mom in the room that probably use some prayers.
Yeah, I could.
All right. Let's see. Community announcements. So remember the Millie Farmers Market first and third Fridays. It's Burger Week. Who's had a burger this week? Where'd you have yours from? Amici's.
We went to Legends.
Legends.
It was delicious. I had Amici's.
Amici's. Eh. Well, how was Legend? How was yours? How was yours? And not anybody else have burgers?
I went to Cheros and tried to get one there.
Ah, we need a Sachero's burger. All right, next year, Sachero's. Okay, all right. Let's see. Kids fishing tournament. How did that go?
Awesome.
Awesome.
88 kids, 26 of them were fishing for the first time in their life.
Wow. And the Interact kids showed up and they raised some money. $56.40-something. Way to go, Interact. Woo. All right. Let's see. Magnolia Ray Market Day is coming up June 1st. And that's at Huff's Market. If you haven't been to Huff's Market, it's pretty cool. John Marlar Arts Exhibit starts June 7th, and then first Friday is the beach batch on June 7th. All right, so any more community announcements we need to know about?
Georgia College baseball team's on the way to the Super 8. They got 2 games to win, they win those, they're in the World Series.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm Wendell. Say that again. Who was at school? All right, good job. Okay. Any other community announcements? Nope. Okay. All right. Guest and raffle. Let's get that. Frederick, you're supposed to keep me straight.
No, you're fine. You're rolling.
I told you I got in trouble.
So we do have one guest visiting with us today. Her name is Christina Mansfield. She's a colleague of mine at Central State Hospital as our community event organizer. Christina.
So I work at Central State Hospital. I've been there for like about 5 years, and I also am a artist with the Allied Arts Council. So I work with them, and I give lessons to children and adults in the community. And I'm also on the Keep Baldwin Beautiful organization. So we help with kind of like that environmental upkeep, litter, and keeping clean. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. I've been there for a couple of years. I've heard of the Rotary Club, so it's now nice to be here.
Wow. Very service minded. Yes.
I'm gonna have Mr. Barlow pick the tickets today, just because I want to pick on them as much as I can. Yes. In the next few minutes.
Yeah, last chance.
I don't have glasses. I got you. Ticket ending in 5429.
5429.
That you, Joy?
Uh-oh.
We getting down, Slim, what we got up here? 6, 12, 18.
Do we know how much money we got?
23. We down to 23 cards, y'all.
Around $400.
Queen of Spades.
Oh.
Spades. Paying close. Good job, you attention.
So close. All right, and since he pulled that money out, Blue Bucket, remember the Blue Buckets, we have reached our goal this year. We're at, I think we're right about $1,700. I think if we had $50 more, then we'll be like the highest given year. So no pressure. I know, right? Okay, so club announcements. So Frederick, let's start with you for club announcements.
Yep, just 2 eyeglasses, any kind of eyeglasses. We need all eyeglasses. We have this meeting, next meeting, and then one more meeting after that, bring those eyeglasses in. I think they're about, I heard today someone brought some in, but so it's between 35 and 40. Trying to get to 100. I think we can make that goal. The second thing is with Baldwin School District food, summer food program. On your table, there's a sign-up sheet for that. There's different days. It's going to start on the 29th. It's going to go between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. There's some different time slots there that we would like you to come out and help us out. But if you can just stop in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that is okay as well. So just sign up on the sign-up sheet. Please give me a telephone number. That's just for me. When I give you a call, say, hey, how many hours did you serve? Because I am collecting that data. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Okay, we have 2 or 3 new member inductions to do. We have 3 to do, but I think 2 are here, correct?
Right.
All right, so Kristen, do you want to come up with Mary? Who is Mary's sponsor? And Wes?
Nobody's my sponsor.
Oh, so sad. Kristen will serve as both of your sponsors.
Man, I already getting off the wrong foot.
There's nothing I could do. Mayor's not here today.
Oh. Okay, here you go, Kristen. I'm doing this time. I'm learning. All right. Okay, so Mary and Wes, that's what you like to hear about, right, Wes? In 1905, Paul Harris was a young lawyer in Chicago, experiencing the loneliness of a newcomer to a big city. He wanted to become acquainted with individuals and other businesses and professions. On the evening of February 23rd, 1905, he met with three friends to discuss his ideas. From this gathering, they created the first Rotary Club. Over 16 years later, Rotary had clubs in 6 continents. Our members now span the globe, working to solve some of the world's most challenging problems. When Rotary went international, Paul Harris famously said, "Whatever Rotary may mean to us, to the world, it will be known by the results it achieves." Today, we are embarking on a new great adventure in friendship and service to your vocation, to your community, and to your fellow man. You are not joining 66 Rotarians in Milledgeville, but over 1.4 million Rotarians in over 200 countries. All are business and professional people united by the common ideal of service above self. Rotarians, please join me in welcoming Mary and Wes to the Milledgeville Club. Mary, here's your certificate of membership.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
here is your certificate of membership.
Very much.
You're welcome. And you take it and the folder.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Want to take a quick picture? All right. Here it is.
Would you like to show?
1, 2, 3, Rotary.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Okay, now we have some Paul Harris recognitions. How are your phone, please, Sam? And if I could have Laura Thompson, Tamara Saragusa, and Kristen Villarreal come up. One forgot. Okay. This presentation of Paul Harris Fellow recognition in the Rotary Foundation's way of expressing to the appreciation of a substantial contribution to its humanitarian and educational programs. It is named for our founder, Paul Harris, a Chicago lawyer who started Rotary International with 3 business associates in 1905. We moved closer to a world of peace and goodwill today as we name Tamara Saragusa. She becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. Her gift to the Rotary Foundation's educational and humanitarian program is a commitment to peace and to better life for the people across the world whom she may never meet. This is truly a selfless act. Tamara, it is because of gifts like yours that the Rotary Foundation is able to carry on an array of programs that achieve beneficial changes in our world. Improved living conditions, increased food production, better education, wider availability of treatment and rehabilitation for the sick and disabled, new channels for the flow of international understanding, and brighter hopes for our peace. In becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, Tamara joins a remarkable company of persons throughout the world, all recognized for their devotion to the ideal of goodwill, peace, and understanding. It is the goal of Rotarians that, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not reading well on this phone, the world over, and one that Tamara clearly shares. It gives me great pleasure, Tamara, to present you with the 3 emblems of appreciation given to Paul Harris Fellow: a certificate, a medallion, and a pen. We congratulate you and we thank you for your commitment to the program of Rotary Foundation. All right. And then we have two more. Laura Thompson is receiving her Paul Harris +4. Yeah. So if you're not aware, when you're Paul Harris Fellow, that means you agreed to you have given $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation, or in some cases you get matching points. So you would give 500 and the club would match it and you would become a Paul Harris Fellow. All right, and then the third recognition, this one is for Kristen. Kristen is a Paul Harris Fellow, but she has joined the Paul Harris Society and she has agreed to give $1,000 annually to the foundation. All right, so can we get another picture? Yeah. All right, screw in, y'all. All right. Thank you. Okay. Now we have another award. I got this award through the email this week, and I was so proud. Michelle, can you come up? Look at it. She don't want to come up. So Michelle is our public image chair for our club, and they have started citations, and Michelle has won the bronze citation for public image with the district. Well, with the Talladega. All right. All right, William Black, will you come up? All right, so William Black, we have one more award to give out today. But I'm gonna let William Black kind of host this for me. So go for it, William.
Well, Erin had called me earlier and said that today was Keith Barlow's last Rotary meeting. And she was like, will you get up and say some nice things about it? And I was like, gosh, man, that's a big task. And I was like, I better get busy. So I took out a piece of paper and I wrote all the nice things that I know about Keith down on it. And I just want to read that here today. All of them are true too, every one of them. So yeah, it is going to be a big loss to the club. It's going to be hard for me because I'm having to sit up here and actually say some nice things about Keith Barlow. If you know Keith, that's very hard to do. But will be hard to replace him because he's been through the years involved in everything that the club, you know, a lot of different factions of the club, some that you may or may not know about. I know it personally because it's a miracle that he's still in the club because I've actually tried for many times to talk him into quitting the club. And the reason for that is because I knew as long as he was in the club, he was going to volunteer for something, which meant I was going to get a phone call and now I'm involved in whatever he's going to volunteer for. So I couldn't seem to tell him no. So I was like, Keith, you need to stop, man. We've done enough. It's time to get out of here, you know. But I would like to share a couple stories that you may not know about. And I know he's sweating right now.
I see it.
I was actually thinking about some stories I could actually share for Rotary, and I got two. So we used to do the Rotary auction, which for all of you who hate selling raffle tickets, if you can imagine something worse, it was the Rotary auction. And especially if you manage the auction, which again, this is one of those things where I got suckered into it because my boss at the time was like, hey, I'm in charge of the Rotary auction, which meant you're in charge of the Rotary auction. And so we developed a process and got the programs and the system in place. And so Barlow and I we would run the auction, and I kept trying to quit. I said, man, somebody else needs to do this. And every year over and over, we'd run it. And if you don't know anything about Keith, know one thing: he's a very, very anal person. And I was at his house one night, and we were over there putting all the items into the program for the auction. So we entered all the items for auction and numbered them, and we went through it. And after about the 50th time of going through these, he said, "I feel good about this. Let's go through it one more time." And it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I looked at him. I said, "Knock yourself out. I'm going home. I'm done." You know. So another thing you may not know is, you know, we're good friends, or at least he's a good friend of mine, and I'm probably not such a good friend of him. But he, in that comes just being very blunt and honest about what you think. And we've always been like that, and we don't agree on everything. And I'm usually right, and he's usually wrong. But one time, a first meeting we had with Fred, and we were going over something financials, and Fred was in there, and Keith and I started. Keith said something, and Fred didn't really know me well, and I could tell by the look on his face, because when Keith said that, I looked at him and I was like, "I don't agree with it. I don't think that's. I do not agree with that. I don't think that's how this should be done, or whatever." And Fred knew I was dead serious, and Fred kind of looked like, "Man, we need to pipe this down. We're going to blow up in here," not knowing that that's just kind of how we operate. But you know, good things come from relationships where you can be honest. You usually come up with a better solution than you do individually. So those are just a couple things. But he has been a good member to this club, been involved in a lot of different things, a lot of things he probably shouldn't have been involved in, didn't get invited to be involved in, but he's just a control freak. And as he moves on, pretty big shoes to fill. And, you know, that was very hard for me to get up here. Oh, one other thing I'll share, and I'll shut up. In case you didn't know, during the meetings, we text each other. And if there's a bad program, you can believe that we're texting about it and making fun of the speaker. So I can't ever show you those texts. So, we're going to miss you, man.
I can't show his wife.
All right. So now we're opening the floor. Who else would like to talk about Keith Barlow? This is our point, to talk about him in person. This is awesome. Come on, Frederick.
Will, thanks for turning this into a roast. But seriously, Keith, we're gonna miss you. I haven't known you but a very short while, even 2 years, I call that a short while. But everything I've seen you do for the club, even when I came into the service project chair, the counsel, the mentorship you gave me, undoubtedly helped me nurture the club in terms of what I do for the club. So thank you for that. Also, Major Barlow, your family is almost like family to my family. Brought a inspiration to art for my son, who we got a call from his third grade teacher saying, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but he's gonna have to do art at some point to being at GMC and placing first, second, and third in art shows. Right? With really good art. So it wasn't
Major
like
Barlow is the page, by the way. I was just saying.
Hey, they didn't have the page. It's Major Barlow. It's Major Barlow.
I was only a staff sergeant.
So I do want to share a story about Keith, and Will kind of hit on this just a tad bit. So when I first had my first conversation with Keith, I never forget it. He asked me a question, right? And me, if you had a conversation with me, you know, I will try to articulate an answer using more words than I need to at times. But that's just because I'm a country boy from Augusta who went to a public school. But I'll communicate my, answer to you. And I remember he asked me this question. I can't really remember what the question. It may not even be appropriate to bring up. But he asked me a question, and I responded to him articulately. Right. So I'm taking my answer. Keith looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'm just playing with you, dude." And it was like he was shocked that I had provided this long, drawn out answer. He said, "I'm just playing with you, dude." But it was at that point, y'all, that I knew that Keith had a higher IQ than I did. I didn't know I could be outsmart like that, but it's been good. That relationship at that point turned into just a fun jab relationship. I was jabbing him. I saw him at GMC asking, could I touch his clothes? Because I know where he's going. He had a brighter future, and I know your future endeavors will no doubt be successful. So I asked him to touch his clothes, and he allowed me to do that. But we kind of jab back and forth. But yeah, Keith reminds me, really, to be honest with y'all. My wife, I met her through a friend in the military. He's my best friend in this world. And he was an infantryman, and I don't see Mark here today. But a lot of in the military, in the army, if you've been in the army or knew people in the army, infantry were known as the ones that didn't have the aptitude to have a technical job. That's what they're known for. That is a complete lie. The infantry has some of the smartest people that you can ever come across. And that's just like my friend. His GT score is almost 50 points higher than mine. He was infantry. I was in the communication field in the technical MOS. And it kind of reminds me of the friendship we have. And the reason why I want to say that is because, Keith, I took you as someone who's always in the trenches, but getting to know you, I see that you, on the surface, you're a person like everybody else. So I really enjoyed the time we known each other and what you've done for Rotary and what you've given me, and I'll continue to work my mission. So appreciate that. I bought you a bag. Here's the next show. I bought you a bag. It is a Rotary bag. I went and got your name put on it. So you have your name on it. I started to get 6920 put on it because I didn't want you to forget where you came from. Yeah. But I think you're smart enough not.
Anybody else? Anybody want to say something to Keith? Come on, Terry.
Well, I'm not funny like those guys. They're funny, and I'm more serious than that. So, and I realize as I get older, I get more emotional and long. So I'm going to try and do this. But I was not supposed to be here today. I had plans to be in another meeting in Gray, and Aaron was going to read this for me. But anyway, you and I don't know exactly when, how long ago it was. It was probably 25 years ago that I met Keith when I started working at Exchange Bank in marketing. And Keith had his own marketing company. What was the name of your company?
Witness.
Okay. So, I mean, literally, that's when it started. And we just had so many sessions of brainstorming of ideas. You helped me tremendously. I thought I knew what I was doing in marketing, but you really helped me get my feet on the ground and taught me a lot. So I appreciate that. But that was a long time ago. And then you went on to the Union Reporter. And of course, our paths kind of intertwined even more so because with advertising and marketing and community involvement, we did a lot of things together when you were with the paper. But I do remember the first time the Rotary auction comes to mind when you talked about it. You had asked me to help. You guys had done all the brain behind the scenes or whatever, but you asked me if I would help with the check-in at the Rotary auction. And I promise you, it was really chaotic. It was really crazy, that first one, but we did it. And you guys, put up with me to understand that all that was going on, but you guys did all the hard work. I was the metered reader at that time. But you did an amazing job. And again, those people that aren't aware of what all the work that went into it, it was a lot, and you did a lot. So during that time, we found ourselves also involved in the chamber. And so many of you have heard, maybe not all, but we call ourselves PAL. So it's always, hey, PAL. And so the PALs are Keith, Lynn Chandler, Greg Tyson, myself, and April Bragg. And that was back in the day when the chamber, we really worked really hard. I think we did a really good job of having continuity for about 5 years. So we made sure that we had, the 5 of us were kind of rotating in and out, and it just worked beautifully. And we didn't always get along. We didn't always see eye to eye the same thing, but I promise you, we walked out of those meetings and we always were on the same page, and we had each other's back, and we still do. So those days of the chamber, they were just wonderful days. And I just, we did things like back then we had Baldwin 2020, we had Partners for Progress, just a lot of things. And I go back and sometimes I can't believe we did some of the things we did. So I'm proud to have worked alongside of you during that time. So anyway, I know that there's a lot of stories we could talk about, but I just want to say, I know you and Paige are going to have a wonderful time up north. Paige has done an amazing job here as a teacher, and you have been very involved in the community. You've brought a lot of people together. So I'm going to get emotional. I've seen your boys grow up, and I'll see grandkids soon one day. So I wish you all the best. And you've been amazing. So thanks for all you've done.
All right, Lynn Chandler.
Well, I'll make a couple of comments first. So I'm proud to be able to say that Keith and I are friends. Hopefully, he believes the same. Terry alluded to being involved in the chamber and Rotary and other things. Of course, when I was involved in it, most of you were not born at that time. So that's how old I am. But the relationship that I had with Keith, he has always sort of kept me grounded. And when I would come up with something, and we worked in the chamber and Partners in Education, all these programs, he would make sure that I didn't do stupid things. And then Kennedy would assist him in that, and Greg Tyson. So it all worked out. But Keith, we're going to miss you. Sorry to see you go, but we wish you the best in your new job. And hopefully you'll come and visit. Thank you for all you've done for this community and for Rotary and for the Chamber of Commerce. You've been a key player and a contributor to the success of all these programs. So good luck to you, and we'll see you hopefully soon.
And look, this could go on all day. And you know, if you miss your chance, you can come on and see Keith. He's having a reception today from 2 to 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
I told Aaron I couldn't do this because I was
Oh,
kind of like Terry. I was like, I just can't talk that far. Like, just can't. But I put my big girl panties on today, so I'm gonna give it a whirl. But you know, when I was sitting here listening to Terry, my story, how I got to know Keith so well, it was a lot like Terry. I wasn't in banking, but at the time I was in shopping center marketing. And Keith was working, I believe, at Union Recorder and Creative. So he did, you know, most of our ads. So we worked real close together. But during that time, we became just the best friends. He was excellent at marketing, same like Terry. He gave me such really good advice, you know, when I was just starting my career, and it was just it's hard to describe. It's really hard to describe. Then when I came on to Rotary and we started working on projects, and they're right, the auction was an absolute nightmare. So much work, so much work. I think we would put at least 3 months into preparing for that. So, and William, you know, these two are something else. They'll still be texting during Rotary, I can assure you. But my funniest, I guess, and it's really not funny, memory of working with Keith in the past has been when we tackled bylaws. And oh my gosh, we sat down, I don't know how many times we went over it, tweaked it. So we worked really hard on those. But I know as we were talking about me becoming president, he was just my right hand. He said, I'm there for you. You know, really the scariest part was going through the auction and all that. And he said, the presidency is going to be a piece of cake. And he was right. I thoroughly enjoyed my year, but Keith was always there to help me in any way I needed. And I will always value that. But I value most his friendship. Keith and I've had some great, deep conversations in the past, and I plan to continue those. I know about the area where he's going to be, so I'll be knocking on his door. So I brought him a little something to remember me by. I want you to go ahead and open it. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not for us.
It's not in there.
No, and he'll get it when he sees that.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
He doesn't know my name. He's never ever called me by my name. He calls me KB. So when I was thinking about something, okay, what can he take with him to remind him of me? Now, there's no reason for you not to use that, because whose initials are that?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Thank
I
you.
wrote him a little note and just said, this isn't goodbye. It's just, I'll see you later. whether in North Georgia or when you come back here, but I do wish you all the best.
Thank
All right, is anybody else? Well, come on, Bill.
I didn't cry.
I know, y'all did so good. No tears yet. Don't let me be the one to ruin it.
It's bad when you get old. It's the young lady from, Georgia College. It was a professor that was in here so long.
Joanne.
No,
Renee.
Renee Fonda. Yeah, all right, anyway, good. Help me get on track. One day Renee Fontenot came into my office and she says, Bill, we think you'd be a good, Rotary, Foundation chair. And I'm like, Renee, I just got in the club. I mean, I really didn't know a whole lot about Rotary. I've been in there maybe a year. And she came in, she says, we'll get you through it and so forth and all. And she says, Keith Parlow will take good care of you. And I'm like, Renee, I just don't know about this. And anyway, I accepted, I did it, had no idea what I was going to do. But that man right there, he was the one that saw me through the whole thing. He just made it so easy for me and helped me in so many ways in the world of knowledge. And I just couldn't thank him anymore for those 4 years that he helped me during the time that I served that. Plus, I have gotten to know Keith a whole lot more as we've gone along. I've known him since he came to Milledgeville practically, but we have become closer and closer throughout the most recent years. And we go to lunch together on a regular basis, and I am definitely going to miss him a lot. And I appreciate your friendship, Keith, and thank you for what you've done to help me out and this club.
Suck it up.
I don't know where to say. I mean, I was kind of shocked when he told me I was down at downtown celebration the other night. He came up and says, I'm leaving town. Man, I said, where you going? He said, I'm headed North Georgia, but to your favorite part of the country. He knows I love going to Helen and also I said, well, make sure you keep me a bedroom available. But and I hope to get up there and see him some. I hate that he's leaving, but I know he's excited. And but he's done a lot for this club. I mean, you don't realize what all he's done in the background, that he keeps stuff going. He's a spreadsheet nut, man. He's got stuff. I mean, you ask him whatever you need, he's always up. But you know, and me and Keith and William and Laura sit down here, and William brought the Rotary raffle to us and kind of pitched that idea, and we kind of took it and went with it and grew it and made it what it is. And it's I mean, it's become a good fundraiser for us, and Keith's always been behind it, organizing it, make sure everything's running like it is. And I appreciate all he's done. I'm gonna miss my ride. If me and him ride together every week I don't know. That's what I thought this morning. I don't care.
So we start buying PPO.
Yeah, I have because we text each other on Thursday, Rotary, yes, and he thumbs up, that thumbs down. All right, whose day is driving? I'm driving, you driving. So, we take turns back and forth. So it gives us time to talk politics and family and Rotary and Bulldogs and everything else. And he's taken me to Georgia Bulldog to the football game a couple of times. And I'll miss a good friend. Riding Rotary every Thursday, but hope we'll get to come visit soon.
Y'all gonna save me for last? All right. Okay, Keith. Keith, you gotta actually have to come up here now.
Do I have to?
Yes. And I was gonna try to be funny. I ain't as witty as, Frederick and William but it's like Keith's been my mentor for a long time. This is what you are to me now. 0. Just kidding. I didn't feel appropriate giving that after all them nice things were said to us.
Actually, I do like 0 bars. So
But he likes 0 bars and you can't find them.
you
So I
can't
feel-
find them.
Maybe I'll tell you where I found them at. I got you something else too. I got your empty bag.
Okay.
So the note cards on the table, if you want to write a word of encouragement, a goodbye, anything you want to say to Keith, if there's something that you couldn't get up and say here today, this bag is for Keith, and that's for his words of encouragement and his well wishes. I did give you something personally. You're not a 0 to me, but I thought it'd be appropriate to give you some swag,
Awesome.
some Rotary swag.
Awesome.
And it's heavy
It
too.
is heavy. There's alcohol in there, I think.
You might be disappointed. Yeah, open it up. Tell me what's in there. But Keith was the one that gave me the idea to do that bag, that particular bag for Civic Swag Company.
Coke Zero
And so Coke 0.
and more 0 bars and Butterfingers.
But I think both
Underwear. Oh, you like that, didn't you?
I'm sure they're pink.
Nice, thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. And then one more thing. Because
Laptop.
that would have been nice. I started making you a gift, homemade gift, but I started too late, so I wasn't able to get that ready in time, but you'll be getting it. I might craft your club and bring it to you there. But the words on it are, you have changed the world because you have touched so many lives. And I think that's totally true for Keith and what he's done for this community. Personally, he has mentored not just me, but so many people. And he was my mentor at the Union Recorder. He's been my mentor with Rotary. You get to keep that job because I'll be calling you.
I will keep my cell phone.
If y'all didn't know, and I forgot to date it, but that's okay. Keith has been a member of this club for 23 years, and he has done so much. We probably still have the Rotary raffle because of Keith Barlow teaching us what to do. I think I know now, so I got it. But if we could throw in a last minute raffle meeting, maybe we should do that. But
She asked me just a minute ago, can we throw in a raffle meeting tomorrow, my last day of work?
And he said yes.
Hey, I'm sorry, I asked him that question, we walked across the parking lot, I said, Keith, I'm leaving now, but you can't get out of selling these tickets yourself. He said, send me the list, I'll sell them, and if you gotta pick up the money, you go pick it up. I said, that's all, I mean, that's the Rotarian right there.
We should name it Keith Barlow Rotary.
Hush, You've gone too far. What we keep.
But if yeah, what would Keith? Yeah, and if I have that question, I just call him, and he almost always answers unless I call him during lunch or during his meetings.
She always calls me during lunch, so I never answer.
And his meetings in the morning. So I called him this morning on purpose. I knew it might be his last meeting. I'm like, let's trying to interrupt. He didn't answer. But anyway, Keith, we want to present you the certificate for your 23 years of dedicated service to the Milledgeville Club of Rotary Milledgeville.
Thank you very much.
With that being said,
You gave me 120 seconds.
well, y'all, look, I don't get that nervous, but I've been shaking all day trying to do this. Okay, so
Trust me.
apologize.
Someone asked me the other day about being president, and they said, "Who was it? Were we Terry?" And I said, "I was the president for a year. I'm telling you, there was not a single week that I felt comfortable getting in front of the crowd and talking. I just don't do good in front of people, especially on a day like today." But anyway, thank y'all very much. It's been phenomenal. If you had asked me and Paige 6 months ago, "Hey, are y'all going to be here?" Oh, yeah, we're gonna be here for a long time. Just opportunities came up. Paige started looking at her time and she was like, hey, what about, me retiring? I was like, cool. I said, hey, you know that guy that offered me this job 2 years ago? You want me to just call him and see what's going on? I called him, he said, can we meet next week? So it just rolled. So anyway, so it's a great opportunity for Keith and Paige. It's awesome. So we're excited about it. Trust me, we really hate that we're leaving all of our friends and that kind of stuff. But like when Billy at work, Billy Hobbs, good Lord. When Billy Hobbs was talking to me about things, I told him 3 organizations, Rotary, Chamber, and Millersville Church, Millersville First, and First Methodist. Those 3 organizations are phenomenal, right there in my heart. I love all of them, and I've loved everything that I've done. Probably got on a few people's nerves. But anyway, I'll have my cell phone will not change. We're moving to North Georgia, and my last day is tomorrow, and start there next week. Please, everybody in this room is invited to come and hang out with Keith and Paige up in North Georgia, and it's we don't know where we're going to be, but if you want to buy a house, our house is for sale. So that'll start things. If you go ahead and buy our house, then we can buy a house that you can come and visit. But anyway, I love every one of you. Thank you very much.
And I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna have to do it. Keith was my sponsor for the club, been my mentor for I don't even know how long, and he's leaving the year I'm club president. I'm like, what's that say about me? I don't know, but just kidding.
No replace.
So anyway, I guess I'll adjourn Keith Garler's last meeting at the Millersville Rotary Club.